Welcome back to Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three amigos, three bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. But this week, it's only two bambinos, two amigos, and two friends coming together talking about nerd shit. It's me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me is...
Ed Bull.
That's right. And this week, our feature discussion is... no feature discussion. There's nothing really that came out that... I mean, Joyride came out. I do really want to see that movie, but... I had my bachelor party this weekend, so we really didn't do anything. In fact, I don't know what's going to happen in this episode. I feel like, Ed, you just carried this episode on your shoulder, and are going to carry us all the way through.
I planted a bunch of things that I want to talk about.
This is Punch Drunk Ed, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just a guest to your podcast. Ed, can I just say that last week you did a beautiful job of hosting this podcast, okay?
Man.
I only edited the beginning and the end. And then on my way to our bachelor party, I was just listening to your dulcet tones as I was flying up high in the air, and it was incredible. You guys did great. Indiana Jones,
I hope your flight was smoother than my segues from topic to topic.
Whoa, look at your segues now. Get those reps in, Ed. You should be hosting more often.
Because I've been looking in a mirror yelling at myself ever since. No, but good. I'm glad. We obviously... missed your pretty face, but of course we got to see it all weekend, which was of course the main reason why we had a short episode last week. That's why we were a shorter person, and this week something and then this similar.
Week, exactly. Miguel's not here either, so he's busy. We were literally punch drunk nerds this weekend. Yes,
all hanging out.
Except we were no punching. No one fought.
Punching the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Crushing the air.
Getting ready for the big event of the year, namely the release of Oppenheimer.
I will say that there was a moment when we were floating on the river that I thought you punched a rock with your face. When you slipped out of that tube. I had front row seats. Yeah. It was terrifying.
An IMAX 3D.
An IMAX, 70 millimeter.
I was having my Way of Water experience. We're just a bunch of old guys floating down the river out in Austin. That was a fun experience.
Fun time.
Overall,
fun time.
But yes, there was that brief moment where, I had my life flash before my eyes.
Right, you didn't go to the chronosphere, running backwards and seeing your life. Okay. Yeah. Let's get to this. All right, so the big thing, Emmy nominations are here. Yes. 75th anniversary. Holy crap, what a perfect landing there. Ed, I don't know who is nominated for what. I'm an audience member, so I'm going to listen, and I'm going to live react to what you're saying. So.
Oh, God. So you want me to recite all of the nominations?
No. You don't have to recite. Just kind of hit me with the big ones, and then...
Okay, all right. So let's talk about, the outstanding series, drama and comedy, obviously.
Wait, can I try to guess which ones in some of these? I won't do it for all. I won't do it for all of them. I'll do it for the major ones. So best drama, right?
Let's do drama first. Yeah. Okay. And I'll start you off. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, how many? Okay.
6, 7. All right. There's 8.
Okay. I'm gonna say Succession.
I'm
gonna say The Last of Us. No. Yes.
Yep.
I would say White Lotus, but last time that was limited series, so I don't know if this year they're out of limited series into regular series.
They are just into regular series. So
okay, all right, so White Lotus. Let's see, more dramas. Give me a network. Is there? Can you do that?
I'm gonna say this one is Showtime.
Showtime. What is happening?
I believe it is Showtime. It's one you've been talking about a lot.
No, wait. It can't be the Little Bug show.
The Little Bug show.
Yellow Jackets. It's not Yellow Jackets. Can't possibly. You can't be nominated.
It is Yellow Jackets.
It's nominated?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it should be nominated. It's a fun show, but nominated?
Okay.
I mean, it's like a crunchy little burger. Okay, what else we got? Just tell me what.
All right, so that's 4. Okay, so yes, Succession, The Last of Us, The White Lotus, season 2, like you said. And we talked a lot about that after we watched it. You were like, it can't be a limited series anymore. And you were right. So yes, Yellow Jackets. You basically guessed the last four of the list here. Andor,
Oh, yes. Okay,
of
good.
course. Thank God.
Of
Like, you know
course.
what I mean?
Andor, the best thing to come out of Disney Plus.
Hands down, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That is like the
Come at us if you don't agree.
that's the thing
you know
to
what I
live
mean?
up to at this point.
Yeah.
That's the creme de la creme. And who would have thunk?
Who would've thunk?
Better Call Saul,
Of course, yeah.
The Crown,
Oh, yeah.
and I wonder if you can guess the last one. It's HBO.
Is it oh. I don't know. What is it?
House of Dragon.
Oh, that's right. Okay, House of Dragon. Oh my God! Wow, it feels like
Well, it feels like
since-
ages ago, and it was such
Yeah.
like I don't know. People are building back that momentum
Yeah.
of energy towards
Yeah,
that series. So we'll see where that goes. But I will say, just out of these, I feel like The Crown probably didn't. I don't have an opinion on Yellow Jackets, but
Right.
I didn't think The Crown was the strongest. Only to say that there were probably stronger contenders out there. I feel like that one was just kind of like shoehorned in. And maybe The White Lotus, only because I found that second season utterly depressing.
Well, I bet you season 3 is going to be just as depressing. I mean, I
Yeah.
think The White Lotus is. I think The White Lotus did good. I mean, it deserves to be nominated. Maybe it's not.
Sure,
as,
absolutely. It's a strong. It is a strong show, but it's just one of those shows that I don't know. It's not the most enjoyable thing to watch, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, and
some people.
that's the thing with you, like you and the Bear. It's not the most enjoyable thing to watch. Like it may be well done, but it's putting you on like the edge of your seat in the wrong way.
Exactly.
You know?
It gives. Yeah, it doesn't give me much to root for. So,
Right.
what out of those 8? Who would be your pick, just off the top of your head? Like for you personally, Luis. Who do you want?
I
to
would
win?
have to. Damn. It would be between Succession
Yeah.
and but I didn't see Better Call Saul, and I feel like a very bad Vince Gilligan fan to say that. So I think they could potentially win because it's their last season, right?
Yeah.
And so Succession's last season, and Succession has more of a popular vote than Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I do feel like it's got the edge. I think people have forgotten
it's got
about Better Call Saul.
It's got a story behind it, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be that, and Andor. I think Andor is really good too, but I guess Succession. It would have to go to Succession.
I would say Andor and Succession would be my top 2, but I've got to lean Succession for sure.
Okay, cool.
And I'm just going to do this quick shout to a series that I thought was really snubbed and didn't get a single goddamn nomination. It was Rings of Power. So
Wait, it didn't get a nomination anywhere in this
not
thing.
that I have seen. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of fucked.
So-
I mean, I feel like there are some categories where it kind of took it. So it's strange that not even.
Well, I guess to be fair, what I'm looking at, I don't know if I got any of the technical nominations.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be like 100
yeah,
nominees
exactly.
to mention.
Yeah.
So, anyway, hey ho. So, outstanding comedy series. You want to guess some of these? I bet you
Is
could.
that, I don't know. Abbott Elementary is probably one of them, right?
Yep, one.
Cool. Then, have I been watching comedies? Oh, okay. Atlanta? Is Atlanta one of them? No.
Oh no, actually, but they did have a season last year. Didn't
They did have a season last year, yeah. The comedies I watched, like I'm sure Dave did not get nominated. I don't know. I haven't been
There's
watching
a couple
like, a
on
lot
here
of...
that you have watched for a
Really?
fact. And you mentioned one just a little while ago.
Was Barry one of them?
Barry is one of them. Yep.
Man, but Barry was dark as fuck this season.
I know,
I mean,
I
it was barely a comedy.
Yeah, it's a grey area.
Okay, I don't know
That's
who
another
else.
show
Yeah.
you just mentioned. Come on, you got it.
The bear, not
Just
the
one?
bear.
Yeah,
No.
the bear.
The
because
bear.
it's such a laugh riot.
Yeah, I know. See, I don't know what's going on with these comedies. People have very loose
We
terms.
didn't have
so
room the drama, so put it into comedy.
right. Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
true. Okay,
So
who else?
going down the list: Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, The Marvelous Miss Maisel,
Oh, okay.
Only Murders in the Building,
okay.
Ted Lasso,
Okay.
and Wednesday.
Okay. Wednesday. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very popular, but I guess they had a strong, like, political push like campaign to get it up there.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Netflix getting behind that one because it seemed to get good reviews, right?
Yeah, I would. Obviously, Abbott's like really great just to like sit back, relax, no lot of thinking, just having fun.
Yeah.
Hold on. My computer just freaked out. Sorry.
No worries.
So, but I haven't finished. And I'm in the middle of Marvelous Miss Maisel, and it's the final season, and it's a really good comedy too. But I don't know what else is that. What can you list them out again?
Abbott Elementary.
Yes, that's a
Barry,
comedy.
The Bear, Jury Duty, The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Ted Lasso, which was also its final season.
It was also, yeah, it's true.
And Wednesday. And Ted Lasso, up until now, has been like a award show sweetheart.
That's true. That's true.
I want to say Ted Lasso, even though I haven't seen the last season yet. I feel like Jury Duty is like the little show that could. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad to just see it up there. I don't expect it to win, but I'm just happy to see it.
I hope to see that guy there in the front row. You know what I mean? They like kind of do a monologue, and he's just like looking straight to camera,
just like shrugging.
This really isn't an Emmys. It's something else. You know what I mean? It's just sort of bit. Yeah.
All the actors in the room are just acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, just going on a whim here, I could see it either going to The Bear because of its popularity, or Only Murders in the Building.
Right. I think Only Murders in the Building has another season, so it could probably...
Oh, that's true.
Might wait till then, but...
Pushed aside, yeah. But people do love that show.
It's great. Paul Rudd's going to be in next season.
Anything else you want to hear about? Like the limited actors. Or anthology series? Actors?
Oh, yeah. Let's do limited and then actors.
Okay, limited. This one... There's one in here where I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, so Beef.
Oh, Beef. Which I heard was good. I wanted to watch that, okay?
I don't think I'm familiar with what that is.
It's an A24 series with the guy from The Walking Dead. I don't know all the info.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Okay.
Daisy Jones and the Six.
Okay.
Fleischman is in trouble.
Right. On FX. Mm-hmm.
And then this one, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, I mean, that one. How many people did they pay for that one to get on there?
Right. Oh, I mean, it's Disney, right? It's just like, hey, how about a little love? Okay, so that's it for that category.
Let's do actors.
Okay. Lead actor in a limited or anthology series or movie. Taron Egerton, Blackbird. Kamal Nanjiani, Welcome to Chippendales. Evan Peters and Dharma. Daniel Radcliffe for Weird the Al Yankovic story. Michael Shannon and George and Tammy, and Stephen Yeun in Beef.
That's it?
That's it.
No one from Succession got on there?
Oh, this is limited or anthology or
limited
movie.
Anthology. Okay, gotcha.
Let's go to the drama series. You're right. That'd be more interesting. Lead actor in a drama series: Jeff Bridges, The Old Man; Brian Cox, Succession; Kieran Culkin, Succession; Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul; Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us; and Jeremy Strong, Succession.
There he is, old Jeremy. You know what? I want Jeremy Strong to win so we can get another like Jeremy Strong speech, and then that we can just reuse on TikTok and memes and things like that. You know, I love. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mix it with his speeches from Succession.
Yeah.
All right, lead actress, and that's 3 lead actor nominations from Succession, by the way.
That's awesome.
Lead actress. Melanie Linsky in Yellow Jackets.
Okay, yeah, she's good.
Elizabeth Moss, The Handmaid's Tale. Bella Ramsey, The Last of Us. Kerry Russell, The Diplomat. And Sarah Snook, Succession. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of torn between Sarah Snook and Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Bella Ramsey was really good. Like, more so than Pedro Pascal, I thought she really made an impression. Mm-hmm. I mean, I obviously love to Pedro Pascal, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, those are 2 really good. Let's just give them both. They get a tie, you know? Let's introduce ties in the 75th.
Give them all awards. All right, lead actor in a comedy series. Bill Hader and Barry. Jason Segel in Shrinking. Martin Short in Only Murders in the Building. Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso. And Jeremy Allen White, the Bear.
He's hilarious. He's he's going funny. On stand-up. He's starting a stand-up tour next month. Just don't miss it.
All right, lead actress in the comedy series. Christine Applegate, Dead to Me. Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary. Natasha Lyonne, Poker Face.
Oh, good.
And Jenna Ortega, Wednesday.
Wow, this is kind of tough. It's a tough year. A lot of people coming in hot. Got some good shows and good performances. I don't know.
That bummed me out that Poker Face didn't get a series nod.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked. That's pretty fucked that they didn't get that in there. Absolutely.
Like compared to, I don't know, maybe better than Wednesday.
Yeah, but Wednesday's a pop culture one that they want to put in there. What else? Which one
Jury
is there?
Duty,
what else was there?
I mean, like you said, The Bear could have easily been a drama.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
dang.
But come on, that's a great show, everyone. Yeah. What are you doing? You want to hear supporting actors and then call it a day?
Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. Let's see. Supporting actor in a drama series. F. Murray Abraham, The White Lotus.
Yeah.
Nicholas Braun in Succession.
Okay, yeah.
Greg. For anybody who doesn't know. Michael Imperioli, The White Lotus. Theo James, The White Lotus. Matthew McFadden, Succession. Alan Ruck, Succession. That's Connor, for anybody who doesn't know. Will Sharp, The White Lotus. And Alexander Skarsgård in Succession.
Damn. HBO is killing it this season.
That's 4 nominations in that category alone for Succession.
Yeah, and then they have the other ones are full of HBO shows. It's like...
All right, but here's the question.
Okay.
Who would you give it to? Me, I think I'm going Matthew McFadden.
Yeah, that's the one.
Succession. He succeeded. So he deserves
he does such a good... He's nuanced like crazy. I mean, him like barely holding it together to then him like being strong and having a spine and then crumbling and just fluctuating between those two. It's just insane. Like from vulnerability to strength, this guy.
Yeah, well, and Pat, he was on a power trip at the beginning because he had Logan behind him. Mm-hmm. So, just seeing it constantly and then basically sell his soul to the devil in that final episode paid off. Excuse me. All right, supporting actress in a drama series. Jennifer Coolidge, The White Lotus. Elizabeth Debicki in The Crown, which, I give her that. Megan Fahey, The White Lotus. Sabrina Impacciatore in The White Lotus.
That was one of the girls. Yeah. The lead one, yeah.
Rhea Seehorn, Better Call Saul.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
Also, really good.
J. Smith Cameron, Succession. That's Jerry, which is an interesting one for this season because she didn't really.
She didn't really do much this season.
Yeah, so I feel like she might not win that one. And then Simona Tabasco, The White Lotus. Yep, there you go. I would say, that's a tough one. I feel like Jennifer Coolidge is still ruling the award shows.
I think so.
Yeah, so watch out for her. All right, lastly, supporting in comedy series, supporting actor. Anthony Carrigan in Barry, who we'll be talking about here shortly. Phil Dunster, Ted Lasso. Brett Goldstein, Ted Lasso. James Marston for Jury Duty.
Oh my God.
Playing himself. Eben Moss Backrack, The Bear. I hope I
Oh,
said
right.
that right. I'm sorry. Tyler James Williams, Abbott Elementary, and Henry Winkler, Barry.
Henry Winkler was really good this season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do need to catch up on that. I'm behind. And then supporting actress in the comedy series, Alex Borstein, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Ayo Edebiri. Again,
The Bear,
sorry
yeah.
if I mispronounced that.
The Bear.
And The Bear, Janelle James, Abbott Elementary, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Abbott Elementary, Juno Temple, Ted Lasso, Hannah Waddingham, Ted Lasso, and Jessica Williams, Shrinking.
You know what? I got to give it to my girl Alex Bornstein.
Borstein?
Yeah. I mean, every time I'm watching her on screen, I'm loudly laughing at what she's saying and how she's delivering it. Yeah. Just the way her delivery is fantastic, and I'm just like guffawing every second.
Yeah. You seem giddy about it, so I could tell. Just shot in the dark, like I said, apart from The Bear, I haven't seen any of these nominees, so but I'd be leaning towards Hannah Waddingham and Ted Lasso because she's so great anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
I was going to ask you, so obviously the, what's it called? Rings of Power got snubbed. I think I wanted to throw one of my shows that got snubbed, and I feel like should have been in there. Winning awards is The Great. I've talked about that on this show before. Yeah. It was its final. Well, I don't know if it was its final season. I think it might be its final season. It's unsure. But yeah, I mean, and Elle Fanning, if she was nominated for that as well, I'm guessing it would be nominated for comedy. And if Elle Fanning was nominated for that, she would have. Yeah. I mean, she killed it. And obviously Nicholas Hoult did great in that show as well. Also, a lot of belly laughs from that show.
You know what? Like now that I've got the bachelor party out of the way, respectfully, of course. Yeah, like Sarah and I need a show to start kicking into. So Ted Lasso and The Great. Yeah, those are my priorities. I'll watch Barry in my own time.
Ted Lasso probably first because you guys are already on that road. You know, you only have you just haven't seen this new season, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I just gotta hype myself up for it. Not that I'm not excited, but it's just one of those things. It's like as soon as you're there, it's fine. We're just like, you want to watch another episode? Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch the whole season in a night.
I know before you start something like, I don't know, are we gonna like this? Who knows? And you just play it and like 10 minutes in, you're like, we're gonna watch this all night. You know, it doesn't take long to like lock you in.
Yeah, but that's the wonders of TV and streaming, right, guys?
Yeah. They give us what you want. They give us what you want at every single time, no matter what. And you know what, Ed? There's somebody else that is giving us what we want. Okay. Do you know who he is? His name is Mr. Ryan Reynolds, owner
that's what I was about to say.
Of prestige soccer team Wrexham. Wrexham Ralph, proud owner of that, proud owner of Mint Mobile. You know what I mean? This guy pushing Deadpool 3 into the MCU. And what does he do?
Aviation Gin.
Oh, that's right, Aviation Gin. I mean, this guy is a legend. He's getting Deadpool 3. He's getting Hugh Jackman back in. And, you know, just on his Instagram, he revealed Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine yellow suit. Yeah. And I think everybody's kind of been wanting this. I mean, this is just preaching to the choir here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like if you were ever going to get it, it was going to be in this movie because, you know, the character is semi-retired since Logan.
Yeah.
So to bring him back, I feel like is a fan service in itself.
I think it looks great. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I know some people have, and I'm among them. Commented that the outfit isn't sleeveless.
Oh, right. That's right.
But
does that really bother you? The lack
of... It doesn't bother me, but it does look odd, and it would be cool just to see it sleeveless. You know what I mean? Because
I see.
Jackman can fill it out, but otherwise it looks clean, and I mean it makes clean. You wonder why they haven't done it all along. You know, but yeah, no, it looks cool. Hugh Jackman looks like he's in good shape. Also, it turns out that, like, I guess part of the reasoning behind that design was because Hugh Jackman is susceptible to skin cancer. Which,
really?
As are we all, I guess. But he may have just danced.
He's like, I want to be covered up a little bit.
Exactly. You know? So, but again, like you said, it looks great. I mean, it's very exciting.
It pops. It pops.
Do you think they're going to go full like the mask as well?
I mean, they kind of have to, right? I feel like you've already gone this far. They'll put it on. They'll make a joke like, "I'm not wearing this," or like it'll get slapped on his face, or I don't really know, but I hope it's an actual mask and not some sort of like
CGI thing.
Yeah, see, we're just like kind of like all these nanobites creating the mask.
Oh, God,
I hope it's a real mask. But I mean, what's great about his face and everything is that his hair already kind of makes that like mask look a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did like a like a test mask for. I want to say it was Logan, wasn't it? Or
I think
maybe
so.
Wolverine that circulated online, but they never used it in the movie. But yeah, no, that would be cool to see. But overall, this should be fun. Like R-rated Wolverine again, I guess, because Logan was R-rated. But yeah, bring on the violence.
We're here for it.
Yeah. And, nobody wants to really say goodbye to Hugh Jackman. So if this drags it out just a little bit longer, let's do it.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's super exciting. Super exciting. And, more superhero news. We have Superman Legacy, who's, casting left and right. We got a bunch of new people. Of course, we got Nathan Fillion, James Gunn's good friend. He's always in a bunch of his stuff. So, you know what I mean? He's in there. He's playing Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. Not the Green Lantern. You have like...
But he is
a Green Lantern because the Green Lanterns are a corporation of like space cops, pretty much,
Right.
And then, Ed, who are the other people here?
Isabella Merced. I couldn't tell you what she's from, but she's going to be playing Hawk Girl.
Okay.
And then Ed Gathegi. And I hope, again, that I've said that correctly. But you may have seen him in the Peacemaker series. He's also worked with James Gunn a couple of times. No, he wasn't. I'm thinking of somebody else. He was in X-Men First Class, actually.
That's what it is. Superhero world. You're in the superhero
world. And and then just today, I think it was, they announced that Anthony Carrigan, Emmy-nominated Anthony Carrigan, is also joining the cast as Metamorpho.
And if you don't know who Anthony is, he's NoHo Hank from Barry.
Hank.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to be... And I didn't say, sorry, Ed Gathegi is going to be Mr. Terrific, a.k.a. Michael Holt, which, again, not a character I'm familiar with, but there you go. Are you familiar with any of those?
I'm familiar with a couple of them. I mean, Mr. Terrific's like a super smart person who creates these things. That's all you really need to know. Hot Girl's like... she's got power. She's from the past. She reincarnates constantly into different people,
Okay. Yeah.
And then Metamorpho, he can obviously, morph into different things, different elements, you know what I mean? So he can take on different elements, so that can be dangerous to Superman. And, NoHo Hank, Anthony, he has a great range. James Gunn does this thing where he brings comedians or funny people who have great range and can go make you laugh and then really make you feel vulnerable and sad and and take you to that dark place. Do you know what I mean? When he needs you to.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, in the most unexpected places too.
Right.
And Nathan Fillion, man, I've got sweet affection for him. I'd like to see him in more stuff. So if this is his way into more things, great.
Yeah.
He's always a laugh in whatever he does. I'm curious, this is an introduction to a lot of different characters, hero characters. So I'm curious to see how this Superman story, where we meet him and this world that is going to be already in full swing.
I know, populated with a bunch of people. I mean... Yeah, we don't know. I know obviously there's like a tie-in to the other TV show, The Authority, and I think this Authority TV show might tie into Superman Legacy. I'm not entirely sure. They're like these protectors and whatever, but yeah, it seems like the world's going to be packed of supers, of soups.
Right.
And it's interesting how they're just going to integrate all that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be the tentpole of the DCU going forward. So, yeah, I'm quite eager to seek out Superman Legacy, the comic, and give it a read. Because I haven't read a good Superman comic. I haven't read any Superman comics. So, this was one that I knew was floating around before they announced it as the next movie. So, yeah, I'm curious to...
Well, if you do, let me know, and we can do like a little comic club, and then we can talk about it on the podcast. You know?
Talk about a different medium.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there you go. Before we get into trailers, do we want to have a quick
yes.
beep, 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 update?
That's right. We're going to send it to Ed, ladies and gentlemen. Ed's going to give us the top summer box office movie awards. Tell us, Ed, who is winning the box office race right now?
All right, Luis. Just calling from my chopper here. Yes, Luis, we have a new number one.
Oh man, I can't believe it. Is it Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
It is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
This thing is breaking records. It's like, we said it wasn't going to get so high because it's an animation, but you know what it said? It said, fuck it. I'm an animation and I'm going to kill the box office.
I'm going to be so good that people are going to want repeat viewings. And yeah, it just...
And I'm one of them. I've seen it 3 times.
I did. I saw it. You saw it 3 times?
3 times, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I would see again if I had the time. But yeah, it just tiptoed over Guardians of the Galaxy this week by 1 million. And Guardians obviously has been out for a while, so it's not likely to keep bringing in any more money.
I'm surprised it sustained this high because it's a pretty dark, that's a pretty dark movie, and that it kept being I don't know.
Yeah,
number
but
one
it
box
kept
office.
audiences. Yeah, it kept them coming back. It was a
it's great.
Good Marvel movie in a while. so
2 superhero movies taking the top.
1 and 2
the
at 358 and 357. That's how close that was. But yeah, Spider-Man is only going onwards and upwards.
Wait, 358?
358. Wow. Yeah.
Usually, sometimes you get them like at 500, 400.
Yeah,
this is it's a pretty low summer box office show up.
Yeah, it really has. But the rest remains to be seen.
Oh god,
I feel like Spider-Man could maybe make it up to 400, maybe.
Okay.
But anyway, going on in third place, we have The Little Mermaid going strong at 289. After that, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts took over Fast X.
I called that. Yes.
And I wish I had too, because I have Fast X ahead of it on my top 10. So, but yeah, Fast X bowed out at 145. Transformers now at 147.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. Any doubters out there? So yeah, Fast X is still at number 5. Right behind it is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which is now at 125. Elemental at number 7. We're going to be talking about this shortly. But Elemental, though it started poorly, has gone kind of steady. It's actually overtaken The Flash.
God, yeah.
It's now sitting at 111 million to The Flash's 105 million.
Wow, they broke it. They did it. They hit 100. I can't believe it. I was so scared you're going to be like 98 million. I was like, no, for the love of God, let them cross.
It broke 100, but goddamn, if it's not going to make much more than that.
Did you see those? They had these promotions like buy one get one free ticket to see The Flash. Like
woof. God.
Maybe it was fake, but I saw it floating around on my feed somewhere. But
might as well,
exactly.
Though, right? You know, jeez. Okay, and then closing out the final 2 movies. The latest release from this previous weekend was Insidious, Chapter 5, The Red Door, which opened to a sound 33 million. And is currently at 36 million, which is, I think, pretty much what people expected. Like, it's a pretty well-established franchise. I only had it in my dark horses, or my wild card, sorry. So I think that's a safe spot to be. And then right after it is good old Asteroid City, sitting at 24 mil.
Wow, that's double what it had before. I remember it was at 11 mil, maybe I think 2 weeks ago. So
it's been doing pretty good. So it's again not breaking records, but it's on there. We got it there, and
Wow.
that's it. Coming up
There we
next
go.
is Mission Impossible: Dead
Uh-huh.
Reckoning.
Yeah.
What I have as my number one movie.
Oh,
of
here we
the
go. You're
summer-
gonna either have a rude awakening or you're gonna be popping up champagne.
I don't
'cause-
know, man. It's looking positive, but the question is how long these movies have legs for.
Yeah.
Like the first weekend is nothing to hold on to. I mean, just take Elemental, for example.
Yeah.
You know, and Guardians had a long run,
Yeah.
all things considered. So who knows? But yeah, fingers
Thanks.
crossed.
We'll see. Next week, I think we talked about this. Next week, I won't be here for the episode because I'm going to be in Comic-Con.
Can I just keep two of you guys?
So I won't talk about Indiana Jones and I won't talk about Mission Impossible with y'all. But no, and Miguel will be here next week. He'll talk about it, and then you can follow us at Jesus. Well, maybe you could just do the podcast
Yeah, I'm
by
just
yourself.
gonna have to. Yeah.
No, and I'm going to be, if you want to follow our Instagram account, that's almost 100 followers, which is booyah. We're going to have a whole blowout live event party if we hit 100 subscribers on Instagram. And go there on Comic-Con weekend. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to try to get some inside stories, see what's on the floor, see if I see any celebrities or cool moments. We're going to have that thing active and blowing up. Yeah.
And then we expect a full report afterwards.
Exactly. I will give a full report. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. We filmed this on Wednesday, July 12th, and there potentially could be a SAG strike might be decided Wednesday night, tonight, or it might get delayed. I don't know. Who knows when we hit Friday when this actually publishes? But I'm curious to see how Comic-Con is going to handle it, especially with, Marvel and WB or like DC not showing up.
I was about to say, there's like some big studios not present this year, right?
I think a lot. Yeah, I mean, they're not showing up, and it costs a lot of money, and also I feel like a lot of people are kind of taking the moment to re-strategize where they're going. So
yeah, totally. And I mean, I guess there are the strikes to consider too. I mean, it'd probably look pretty bad if you're announcing a bunch of stuff when you can't even write anything right now. So.
And if the actor strike happened, then then they won't be able to do these, show up and have interviews, which
press
is like
junkets,
which is huge.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is a big deal. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. Rumors today are saying that studios are trying to just put off negotiations until writers are basically broke.
Incredible. I love the movie business.
Like, God, you got to love their determination. And so open about it, too.
Yeah.
But hey, let's talk about some projects that are finished and coming out soon.
Something that'll give us some joy, right?
Yeah, something to look forward to.
Okay, what is
that? We
that?
know won't be taken off the schedule. We got a couple of big trailers this week. First off, we got the trailer for the movie Wonka.
Okay.
This little prequel that nobody asked for.
So true.
It's basically a musical prequel to the story of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, made famous by the Gene Wilder film. And
Sir Gene Wilder. I don't know if he's a sir, but
he's American.
He deserves it. You know what I mean? I'll knight him.
There you go. So coming to theaters December 15th, this is going to be focusing on a young Willy Wonka and how he came to meet the Oompa Loompas on one of his earliest adventures, and starring none other than Timothée Chalamet as the titular character. Luis, I'm not going to lie, man. I watched this trailer, and I'm probably like everybody else in thinking, like, why the fuck are we having a movie about this? But I will say, this trailer had me charmed.
Okay.
So knowing that this is directed by Paul King, who did Paddington 1 and 2, the greatest sequel of all time.
Of all time.
And he stepped away from Paddington to do this movie. On top of the fact that Timothée Chalamet did sign on to do this movie. And on top of that, you have Sally Hawkins, who also came from Paddington. She's
Yeah.
not going to be in the third one because of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know,
didn't
they
that.
recast
That
her,
sucks.
which is
They
kind of
didn't cast her?
Yeah, they recast her.
What? That's such bullshit. Why would you do that? She's such a good character. There's no one's going to be able to meet her charm.
Oh man, trust me, when I saw that, the
that's
first thing I
upsetting.
looked up, I was like, why isn't Sally Hawkins in Paddington 3? And then, sure enough, she went with Paul King.
Can they just do face replacement? I mean...
Like CGI.
Yeah.
CGI, and
They already did it for friggin' Indiana Jonesy. Okay.
Right.
Who's replacing her?
Emily... I'm blanking on her name. She's like a solid British actress.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I didn't know
Paddington
that.
3.
Paddington 3 replacement. I'm Googling it.
Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown? Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, all that to say, like, it's got a big cast. Olivia Colman, Keegan-Michael Key, Sally Hawkins, Rowan Atkinson, Matt Lucas, and Hugh Grant playing an Oompa Loompa.
Okay.
All right.
So good.
So this trailer doesn't show any of the musical elements, like any of the songs. Purely just like you get a sense of dance sequences and stuff like that. There's a fantastical element to it, where people are like floating and stuff like that. You know, stuff you'd expect from a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory story. And yeah, it just looks very sweet and like a just well-made family film, which I feel is like rare these days. Like Paddington, obviously being the exception. So I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. Jury's out until I hear some of the songs, because what is a musical without that? And see how good Timothée Chalamet is at singing. But he brings a lot of energy just to this trailer alone, and I respect that. I was surprised by that, honestly.
I didn't know what to expect when I saw this trailer, to be honest. I was a little scared. In fact, I waited a couple days to watch it to okay, well, what's this going to be like? I'm still like cautiously optimistic, like got my foot out the door. I'm not fully out the door, just my toe. But like when I will say when I saw, I didn't realize the guy who directed Paddington was going to direct this movie. So when I did see like the director of Paddington, that did pique my interest more, like seeing the text than the visuals, you know? So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to give this now even more of a chance. Yeah. I wasn't sure yet, but then when I got to the end and I saw Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa, I can't believe, I mean, he's so good these days, isn't he?
Hugh Grant is just like right in that
he's
wave,
killing
man.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so absurd, and I keep thinking back to that scene, and it's actually pretty funny. Yeah, who knows what to, like, I can't wait to show my mum this trailer.
Oh, that's fun.
Just for that ending, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they're all going to be, like, little Hugh Grants...
Absolutely.
This is about to be fucking great. Like,
I think
possibly the best movie of the year.
What did you think about this whole... So in the plot, they say he's a scientist, he's a magician or something, and he's trying to make all these fantastical chocolates, and there's like
Start up his own store.
Start up his own store, and then there's like this chocolate gang that won't let him start a store or something like that. Like,
it's like they literally use the word cartel.
Yeah, chocolate cartel.
I was like, you couldn't think of a better...
the chocolate cartel are going to be hunting you down, and I'm just like, wait, are we really going this direction? So I'm a little bit like... It is a little wacky, but I don't know. I don't know what you thought about that when they brought up the chocolate cartel.
No, I thought that was... I mean, obviously you need, like, an antagonist, so... and, like, the antagonist in that awful Tim Burton adaptation was his father, who was a dentist.
Right.
So, I mean,
chocolate cartel's pretty wacky. You know what I mean? And
then, that is the word cartel in a kids movie. It's such an aggressive word. So I don't know, but I will say, like, I thought the costumes and the sets looked pretty great. There's a bit where Timothée Chalamet is dancing with this girl floating on a balloon kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's very magical looking, and I appreciated that. So, and again, Timothée Chalamet is bringing a lot of energy to this. So, you know, it could And it comes out December 15th, like
It's
prime
kind of
time.
it's a perfect Christmas movie, you know?
Yeah, so if it, fingers crossed, we'll see. Maybe the next trailer will give us more insight of which way it's going to be leaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. Check it out. Don't write it off right away. Watch the trailer and make your own decision for yourself. Don't listen to the internet. Yes, prequels are usually terrible, but this one has good people behind it, so we'll see. Speaking of good people,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, speaking of good people,
they just released a new trailer for the Ahsoka series from Disney Plus, the latest Star Wars series. Yeah, so basically, the series is going to be following Ahsoka after the fall of the Galactic Empire. Former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano investigates an emerging threat to a vulnerable galaxy. The threat being Admiral Thrawn, or General Thrawn. So yeah, I mean, we've had hints of Ahsoka, live-action Ahsoka, through The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, randomly enough. But she's finally got her own series. This is a character who eluded the live-action realm of Star Wars for the longest time, and instead of a movie, she's going to be appearing in a series. How are you feeling about this series? You're a big fan of Ahsoka.
I love
the character.
I love Ahsoka. Yeah, she's a great character, and this is going off the heels of Rebels, another great animated show,
which I still need to watch.
Which builds off the lore of Star Wars in a deeper way. And this is Dave Filoni, who wrote Rebels, who did Clone Wars, those cartoon shows, and he's going to do it, which is going to be exciting to have it in the hands of somebody who understands George Lucas. But I think it's just, we've been bombarded with a lot of these Disney Plus type shows now, and we all feel a little bit soured with the exception of Andor. And as excited as I am to see some of these characters come to life and seeing the threat and the danger of Thrawn coming in to finally, do his thing, I'm still pretty weary about it because of, pacing issues throughout the season, through, pointless storytelling. Why are we talking about this? Where are we going? And then just,
Obi-Wan, the latest example.
Yeah. And it's just, also just, the visuals of it, too, just seem so, I don't know, kind of flat a little bit. It doesn't feel kinetic enough for me. It feels like we're on a soundstage. You know what I mean? A lot of these things feel like we're on a soundstage, and they don't. I don't know, man. I really have to. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic, and my love for the character and some of the property will carry me. But I'm not overly jumping in my.
Sure. I thought the trailer looked good.
It can look good, but once it finally releases, it's another.
Because you're you're highlighting all the good bits. No, I totally get what you mean, and had Andor not just completely surpassed my expectations and everybody else's, I feel now we're even more cautious because is this going to be just back to the usual, or is this actually going to be a try-hard effort to kind of bring a beloved character to life and make her story significant? Or at least this story that they're trying to tell right now. So, I hear what you mean.
I just hope, I don't know, Dave Filoni is able to carry this through without any, fat. And, we have great cast with, the guy who plays Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen. He's really menacing and all that stuff. So, if the visuals aren't fun, if the visuals aren't great, if it's a little awkward, but the story's there with great performances, then, I'll consider that a success enough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I'm glad that we did it because it was a good story, and I felt it because the actors performed it well. That would be fine for me.
Best case scenario. Hopefully it doesn't get dragged down by fan service, because we're entering into newer territory, I guess.
It depends on the fan service. We're talking about Wolverine, hoo-ha, yahoo!
Right,
we love it. And then over here we're don't stop doing fan service, Right. It's definitely you have to choose your poison at certain points. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
read the room a little bit, have some context. You know,
exactly. Yeah, like me for you guys watching The Flash. It's like know, it's like snap out of it. So yeah, okay. Well, we'll wait to see. That comes out on August 23rd, or it starts airing August 23rd.
Right. Star Wars. Yeah, August 23rd. Star Wars is like, I love Star Wars. Love Star Wars, and then Ed, I know you love historical dramas. You know what I mean?
I fucking love History Wars.
History Wars. One for me, one for you. And so, what's your one for you, Ed?
Well, it's a little guy named Napoleon.
There you go.
Napoleon Bonaparte, yes, is coming to the big screen, Luis. I am like
the little guy's coming to the big screen.
He's coming back.
The slogan.
I already made fun of the slogan on the poster, which I guess we could talk about in a minute.
Please, let's do that.
But so yes, director Ridley Scott, the master of epic films, is back directing a new epic starring Joaquin Phoenix, none other than, as Napoleon Bonaparte.
There you go.
And we've talked about the development of this movie. At one point, it was called Kit Bag, which was never going to fly. No studio.
I don't understand that. I mean, can you explain that to me?
It's like it's a reference to like a military satchel or bag that they had back then. It's just called a kit bag. And because this movie is supposed to focus on the relationship between Napoleon and his wife, Josephine.
I was kind of feeling that in the trailer a little bit.
Yes, that's supposed to be like the central focus of this movie. Which, here's a quick synopsis. It's a look at the military commander's origins and his swift, ruthless climb to emperor, viewed through the prism of his addictive and often volatile relationship with his wife and one true love, Josephine, played here by Vanessa Kirby. So yeah, man, best believe I was analyzing every frame of this. So this is coming to theaters November 22nd. It's produced by Apple TV or Apple Movies. I don't know what they're called. But...
I think it's like Apple TV Plus.
Right, Apple TV Plus. And yeah, so it really does span his entire military career, from what I can tell. It starts off clearly during the French Revolution with the beheading of Marie Antoinette, which I was just like, okay, you know, if you're going to start with a bang, that's the place to do it, Ridley. So yeah, you see that, his rise to stardom as a commander through the siege of Toulon, which is, you see kind of like shots of that siege, him climbing up a wall. We see glimpses of the Battle of the Pyramids, so it was nicknamed, and the Battle of Austerlitz, and potentially the Battle of Waterloo, which was his final battle. So that's a lot to go through. Now, Luis, whenever I was an aspiring film director, I always wanted to make a film about the Battle of Waterloo. Not Napoleon specifically, but Waterloo. Because that battle alone is feature length. It is so these, like, back then, these battles took place over the course of a whole day and involved like 75,000 troops on each side, kind of thing. As just like, and it's like, yeah, just you got one man on either side playing chess with these thousands of men, and so it is going to be interesting to see how well he adapts that to the screen, especially if with all the battles he's trying to include in this.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how well they present his Napoleon's like strategic mind. Like, are they just going to highlight certain parts of the battle?
Probably
or
certain parts.
Yeah, which has me nervous because I just don't want to be shortchanged for my military battles. And also, there's a lot of like political maneuvers on the inside too. Like he became Emperor of France after the French Revolution, which was a big deal because obviously they'd just gotten rid of the monarchy in France. So for him to do that, and notoriously he crowned himself, which we see in the trailer too. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of story to get through, and this movie is apparently around 2 hours and 37 minutes, which is actually shorter than his previous movie, The House of Gucci. So I'm just like, what's going on here? But all that to say, everything I saw in the trailer had me very excited.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, we're all big fans of Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm very excited to see what he does with this. He's reuniting with Ridley Scott for the first time since Gladiator, which led him to his first Oscar nomination. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Very interesting. What, as an outsider, Luis, what did you think?
I mean, honestly, I just saw a lot of battles, a lot of things happening, a lot of movement. You know, it's like, we're under trouble. We need leadership. He shows up and he's trying to lead them. And I was just kind of swept away with all the action that was happening. But I did notice the sprinkling of this like story between him and his wife, and how I think that might be the main through line of the whole thing. And all these little battles and political stuff are just offshoots or tangents, like having a way for them to
reflect his emotional state, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And Vanessa Kirby's a great actress too, so I think the two will play off of each other pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like visually, it looks pretty stunning. Like that shot of him looking up at the Sphinx in Egypt. That's based off of a painting, like a famous painting. And then, of course, the battle at the pyramids, which actually didn't take place right next to the pyramids. It was actually like 15 miles away.
Taking some liberty already in this movie.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Ridley.
I will say, like, the one thing that I wish, and it's just because, like, this is the era that we're in now with, you know, these movies. It's just, everything is so, like, splattered together with VFX. You know what I mean? Like, these wide shots, these comp ins, like, they just, everyone's filling up the wide frame with like these extra little things, these extra little smokes, these extra little explosions, these extra little stuff that it begins to just like, I don't know, take away a little bit of, like, VFX is such a like, ooh, movie magic, but now it's kind of taking away a little bit of that movie magic where
absolutely
when we see the practical stuff, like I'm thinking about Gladiator, you were talking about Gladiator, like that, like they had that battle scene at the beginning and that was cool. Like
the Colosseum,
the Colosseum, like those battles don't look anything like how battles would be filmed today, you know?
No, you're absolutely right. Like, there's a lot in this trailer that, and I mean, obviously, you gotta enhance, you know, make it look like you actually have these armies of thousands of men at a time. But there are ways around that. There's a film that came out in the 70s called Waterloo. It's a movie I grew up with, but the battle sequences were all done, obviously, without visual effects. And the director had hired, I think, 1,500 extras from like a local regiment where they were shooting.
Oh, that's smart.
And he had them play both sides, you know, and just did it, like, concentrated the extras in certain areas when he needed to make the army look big. And then in the extreme wide shots, you know, they would use not models. Well, yeah, models in some cases, and why am I blanking on the word? Mannequins and stuff like that to show the man. And Christopher Nolan has used similar techniques for like Dunkirk and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just ways to manipulate that. And so, that movie, like, I would implore anybody to look it up. It's not easy to find. You could probably watch the whole movie on YouTube, but you have to watch it in parts. Mm-hmm. But there are some moments in that movie where, just from a technical standpoint, from a cinematic standpoint, it's just like stuff that just you do not make anymore. They just don't make it like that anymore. It's just like real cavalry charges, hundreds of extras lined up, and
it's like architecture,
really
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you look at older buildings and you can just like, wow, that was made with a lot of effort, a lot of time, good quality, materials. And then you have now where you have like shopping centers or just like corner marts where they're all just kind of
built in a month.
Plastered together, barely holding on, chipping if you like hit the corner, you know what I mean? And so it's just like,
absolutely.
It doesn't look very inspiring too. They're just kind of like boring shapes. And then you have like these older buildings that are more, intricate. And it just kind of feels that way with like the VFX. It's like cutting corners, and it's like, okay, well, let's get these people, let's hire these people, let's get more, build it out. And I think that's just we're paying a lot of money to see these movies. I want to see a little movie magic. I want to see y'all trying a bit. So,
and Ridley Scott is definitely one of those directors who's just kind of gone with the flow of things throughout his career, which isn't totally negative, but he's not like one of those purists like Christopher Nolan. He
won't care. He's just like, let's just shoot this thing.
He's just like, what's the easiest way to make this? Like, let's do it. He also has dealt with studios in his life, so he's probably just like, I don't know.
This isn't the battle I want to fight.
Exactly.
Like, so I want to have more control of the writing or whatever, the casting. So I don't really care about it.
Absolutely. If the central story of Napoleon and that relationship is strong and captivating, then I can forgive the battle sequences. It's not titled Waterloo for a reason, it's not titled the Nile or Egypt or whatever. It's Napoleon. So at the very least, I really hope this is a really good character study, a really good performance from Joaquin Phoenix, though you wouldn't be able to tell from this trailer. It's very one note, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
He's kind of been carrying that note for a bit, like that kind of character type. It's like, am I just watching like Bo popping up in Napoleon?
Man with his like swollen nuts. I don't know. But I mean, the talented people. Again, this is just one of those. It's got the right talent. I just hope he pulls it off. So and that's coming out November 22nd. Check out the trailer.
So soon.
I know, so soon. Right around the corner, right in time for the Oscars season.
So usually we float into feature discussion here, but no feature discussion this week, like we said. So we're going to move into what we're into.
So much to catch up on.
I know. It's a few little things, not too much here.
Yeah. So, Luis, real quick, I just want you to... I won't interrupt. I just want you to say what your thoughts were on Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, so it's official.
Okay. I think I pretty much clicked with what you guys are saying. If you want to know my opinion, listen to last week's episode when they did, what's it called? The Dial of Destiny.
Times 3.
Yeah. Honestly, I heard, I was hearing all these kind of bad reviews coming in, and so I was kind of like getting a little worried. I didn't know how it was going to, land, and I've been watching these other Indiana Jones movies with Steven Spielberg, so I was cautious. But as the movie went on, I really had a ball. Like, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Harrison Ford looks like he really digs his character, like you guys were saying last week.
Very passionate.
He's very passionate about it, and so you can see kind of a little bit of a joy. And and throughout the whole thing, I'm like, okay, how are they going to get this 80-year-old actor to do all these like crazy stunts? It's like, oh, he jumps on a bookshelf, and then the bookshelf knocks out the big guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all these like you guys talked about the face replacement, all that stuff, same thing. And I didn't mind it going to the freaking past. You know what I mean? I thought that was... We have to do something crazy and kooky in the Indiana Jones series.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always like mystical and weird, and I didn't mind it. I did miss that like really gruesome death that we typically get from Indiana Jones movies.
Having the villain have exactly what he wants, but not in the way he expected, kind of thing.
Boom, Ed. Very well said. Let's put that on a shirt. That's so exactly. Exactly.
Like the Last Crusade, he drank from the Holy Grail and he disintegrated. They opened the Ark of the Covenant, and the power of God just melted them. Yeah, bits like that. Yeah, because they really just died in a plane crash, and
It just happened. It
you just see their
exploded, yeah.
corpses at the end. Yeah, and yeah, you after a whole movie, especially with Indiana Jones, where it's like chase sequences and the villain is always showing up at the last
Yeah.
second to take the glory. Like you want that. I don't know,
Cathartic.
catharsis.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Of just like seeing a guy fucking eat shit. Like, so they could have had some more imaginative ways of doing that. But yeah, I do want to see it again just to see how that, now that I know what's going to happen, I want to see how I feel about it now. But I mean, it still struck an emotional chord with me. So yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good time with it. You didn't hate it.
I had a great time. Yeah, exactly. I had a great time. I rewatched and, everything you guys said, kind of what I was feeling. So I was like, yes.
Perfect.
I think we had a discussion about it. Like, one small nitpicky thing was how all the movies start with Paramount, and then it
yes, and I didn't talk about that with Miguel. So obviously we're used to seeing the Paramount logo sink into some background or image, and they just didn't do it this time. They had the Lucasfilm, then they had the Paramount. That's when I thought it was coming, and then they had the Disney, and then I was like, "Oh shit, they're about to do it with the Disney one," and still no.
No.
So
no, what it was, I think it either opened with
Paramount,
Disney, but then Disney, and then the Lucasfilm popped up, and then that Lucasfilm became like a handle, like the most boring thing you could fade into. Like I don't know, it's like a small dumb thing, but whatever.
Like, give me the Gopher Hill from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, So that was just like one little nitpicky thing. Yeah, for sure.
Good times.
Good. Yeah. All right, well, Luis, what have you been into? Because I'm looking at my piece of paper and it's blank because I printed it off earlier.
Okay. Mine is Elemental. So I recently saw that. What's the story behind this? We obviously had the bachelor party this weekend, and Steven, he had a kind of a hard night, and I was like, all right, dude, this is what we're going to do. I know you're taking me to the airport, and I've got like 6 hours to kill, and I know how terrible it is when you're feeling that way. Let's relax. Let's calm. Let's go to a movie. Let's go to AMC where they have reclined seats. You know what I mean? And so we'll go somewhere cold because it was like 100 degrees there. We'll go somewhere cold. You can lay back. We're not moving anywhere, and we're just being entertained. So we thought, let's go to the earliest screening. We got Elemental. We heard all the reviews. We heard all the bad box office. And, is it one of those, like, tear-jerking Pixar movies that everyone will rave about for years? No, but is it kind of like Bug's Life, where it's just being silly and for kids? Yeah. And I think it makes sense why it's kind of been keeping consistent, because I think it's a solid, like, safe movie in the best way where, not a lot of dark stuff. The images look cool. I mean, if you're a kid, you're like, ooh, the flame, like the flame effects, the water and all that stuff. It's
good message.
Yeah, it's like a good, simple message. It's like a simple sandwich, but it's a good, simple sandwich. You don't need too much, So I think if you have kids and if you just need like time to relax, I think it's like a fine thing to put on, Are things a little bit heavy-handed? Are things a little bit not as subtle? Yes, but you know what? It gets the job done. So that's
I feel like Pixar has always been reliable in that sense. I know, like, there's a I don't know, like a slight fatigue. You and Miguel had mentioned a couple of weeks back when their latest trailer came out, and I will just always cherish Pixar for the greatness that they have done. So I will always welcome their latest movie with optimism. And even though when I had the opportunity to see Elemental, I went to go see Spider-Man instead again. So that's where we're at. But yeah, I mean, Sarah just enjoyed it too. So I'm sure when it does come out, I will get around to seeing it. It wasn't like my top priority. But yeah, I feel like you said, I mean, there's always something to take away from a Pixar movie, even their lower tier movies. So yeah, okay, well, good to know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be good. But Ed, I want to hear your thoughts. We've been talking about Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible is coming up.
Oh man.
People always wreck on Mission Impossible 2, but you saw it.
I did finally see it.
I talked a little fondly about it, I guess.
You did, yeah. And this was one
it was my second DVD that I ever had. Was that I was a little kid? I don't know.
I had it on. We had it on VHS, but I never watched it. Watched it, and I'm just looking at my collection to see if I still had it, but no, I don't think so. But yeah, it. And back then, I wasn't a big Mission Impossible fan at all. So I held out on this one, yes, because it's notoriously bad, and Buddy did it not disappoint. After and I've been watching like Fallout so many times this year alone, but I've been rewatching the entire series, and man, like after maybe the third one, that whole franchise took like a huge kind of tonal shift.
Yeah.
Where, and obviously Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie kind of found their rhythm with this character and this franchise, which is working and paying off dividends, especially with the early reactions of this latest one. But Mission Impossible 2, I don't think I was expecting just how you described it as soapy.
Yeah.
Like it is so soapy. Holy God! It's a time machine soapy. Almost. Like you go into this the first couple of scenes. Thandie Newton, by the way, being all young and stuff, and still looking great. Like her and Tom Cruise sleep together within the first 10-15 minutes of the movie, which I was just like, man, they stopped doing that shit a long time ago. That's definitely such like a early 2000s, late 90s trope. So much slow-mo. And
so much, dude.
Like probably one of the cringiest villains of the franchise, played by Dougray Scott, who's a Scottish actor who was around this time in the running to play Wolverine in X-Men, and thank God it didn't go to. I haven't really seen a lot of his stuff, and I can see why now. Because good God, like every other scene in this movie, he's like being either the mustache twirling villain, or he looks like he's on the verge of crying.
He's intense.
So bizarre. And I think I counted maybe 6, at least, mask reveals, mask switcheroos. Yeah, which is like a record.
I don't know I don't know how old I was, but when I saw that at the very end, that last reveal, I was like, "Oh my goodness, you can do that!"
Not again!
Not again! And then the doves flying,
so many doves.
Yeah,
so many doves, and like some of the action, like I was saying, like there's so much slow mo, and again, like if you've watched Fallout, the styles are so different now. Yeah. Like the way, like Tom Cruise is literally doing a backflip to kick a guy in the face.
Yeah.
Like that's where we were. Like it's definitely of its era. And I was just cracking up the whole way through. Like they're dueling on motorcycles at one point.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They face each other and then they go.
Oh yeah, a lot of dual wielding, pistol shooting, and I was just like, man, it's like a completely different franchise almost now. Yeah. Like it's incredible. Like the fact that this movie didn't kill the franchise right then and there. Oh boy. And like, there's like the final like fight going on, and like somewhere else, like Thandie Newton's character is about to jump off a cliff. Yeah, it's so dramatic, Good God, and man. I mean, I'm glad I watched it because now I can say I've seen the entire franchise, and I know where this stands.
Anthony Hopkins was in it too.
What a waste! Like I would have loved to have had him as like a return character. I mean, he still rocked it. As Anthony Hopkins, can't go wrong. Tom Cruise, like, it was also one of those movies, where we're all getting old now, especially Tom Cruise. But you're just like, damn, Tom Cruise was a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Like,
holding all those rocks like this.
Oh, man. Like, his hair just, like, ever so perfectly feathered and just, like...
That was of its time, too. Those, like, everybody
definitely
had that long skater hair, so it was just, like,
what really cracked me up on, like, the 5th or 6th mask reveal... it's that like the bad guy that he killed, and then like put tape over his mouth. He put like Ethan Hunt's face on him, tied him up and gagged him so that the bad guy would kill him.
Yeah,
and it just so happens so he's wearing this outfit, and of course it's a leather jacket. Just like very cool outfit, and then out of nowhere. This guy on a motorcycle just pulls up trying to kill Ethan Hunt and knocks him off or whatever. So you've got Tom Cruise with the perfect hair and the glasses, and he's just so happens to be wearing a leather jacket now. What
a perfect swap! Yeah, change the clothes for the final like act, and the act.
Exactly. Oh man, it was so hilarious. Not
gonna lie, us talking about it makes me want to rewatch.
I will say this is one of those movies that would be great for like a drinking game or something. Like every mask reveal, take a shot. Every dove you see, take a shot. And there's a lot. There's a fucking lot.
This is why, Ed. I wish you lived here, that we could just have these
these little
drinking movie night drinking.
I know. Yeah. We'll have to do a watch party sometime.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Miguel would get a kick out of this. I know he's not the biggest Mission Impossible fan, but
he'll get a kick out of this for sure.
He would, because he likes his bit of trash, does Miguel.
Oh my god!
And I mean that with the utmost love. He just if something's stupid and silly, he eats it up, like the Fast franchise and stuff like that. Which this one fits perfectly into.
I don't think he watches the Fast franchise. Does he?
He didn't see the latest one, but yeah, he's a big fan of that.
Okay, I thought anyway. Maybe it was Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, no, Miguel gets pumped for that.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, so but that would be a fun one. I think if we had a motive behind it to just make fun of it, he'd be so down. So no offense, Miguel, I love you, man. I'm ready for Mission Impossible now. I've seen all of them. Can't wait. I'm so excited for this film.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's another movie that I've seen that starts with M, or TV show. Marvelous Miss Maisel, so Marvelous Miss Midgey. It's last season. I am a couple episodes out to finishing it. Honestly, I've talked about this show a lot. This show, my opinions of it. I love it.
You love it. Yeah. Well, this last thing on my list. Nimona. I think I mentioned this to Miguel last week. It's a Netflix animated film. It's based off of a graphic novel of the same title.
Sorry. I just realized something. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it was surprisingly just really good. I started seeing really good reviews for it online, so I sorted out, watched it with the family. Lily loved it, and Sarah loved it. You got Chloe Moretz. Why do I always think there's something else after that? Chloe Moretz.
Oh, Chloe Moretz, great. Chloe Moretz, great. Hold on.
Great?
Yeah, Chloe.
Or is it Grace
Chloe Grace Moretz. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. She does the voice of Nimona, and fuck me. Why am I blanking on names today? Sound of Metal.
Troy? No. I don't know.
Troy?
Man. I don't know, man. You're on your own with this.
I'm trying to pull it up. Anyway, so it's about this this knight who, from humble beginnings, rose up to the kind of high-ranking knight of this futuristic kingdom, and then he's framed for the murder of the queen. And Nimona is this shape-shifting outcast who teams up with him and tries to help him out of this, whilst the rest of the city is trying to catch him.
Okay.
And it's just, first off, it's Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed, okay.
Yeah. It's really funny, like non-stop funny. It's also very sincere. There are a lot of emotional moments, but they never lean too hard either way. It's like a really nice balance of both. So it's overall very, like, again, sincere and kind of heartwarming story. And I think this is like kind of going under the radar, but I would implore everybody, if you're just like at home looking for a new movie on one of your streaming platforms, this is on Netflix, and it's totally adult appropriate, but also totally okay for kids of a certain age. Like I said, my 5-year-old really enjoyed it, especially Nimona being able to shapeshift into all things pink. It's a lot of fun. Like, she transforms into a whale and a rhino and stuff like that. It's
cool.
It's a lot of fun, and it's got a good voice cast to boot. So, Nimona, check it out.
Yeah, I knew the person who wrote Nimona did another show. I couldn't find it enough time, but that's cool. It's like it's like, how long? It's like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, super short. Like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 tops.
Hell yeah.
An hour and 41, in fact. There you go.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely, I would put it up for Best Animated Feature. You know, obviously we have Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse,
right.
But
it should still be nominated for it.
Yeah, I don't know if this will, with the rules and all of that, but it is really good. Definitely a solid. So far, it's probably in my top 10 of the year. So,
damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
It's not on there, but I just want to announce that I finished The Sopranos.
Okay. How was it? How was that? How was your experience? Was it worth it?
It was a nice revisit. It is such a good show that I think it's, there's so much content out there, but like, you have these pillars of just great shows that will stand the test of time. Sopranos being one of them, absolutely. It's just such a great cast, and there's so many moments of just like raw intensity and just like brilliant acting from James Gandolfini. Like, R.I.P. I only wish we had gotten more movies and stuff from him, but yeah, it was good. I can't remember. Have you watched The Sopranos?
No, that one I missed.
It's a deep plunge. If you do ever feel like challenging yourself, I think it's well worth it. Like,
absolutely, it's one of those that you kind of have to. I have a long list of shows I got. I got to do work.
It's definitely of that era.
I'm going to take a week off just to watch a bunch of TV.
There you go. But yeah, no, Sopranos. I'm done with it. On to the next one. But yeah, it was worth a rewatch. I'm glad I did it for sure.
Well, damn,
holds up.
We did it, Ed. We
did
the
it.
episode. Can you believe
what
it?
What did we do?
47.
Oh wait, no. Where are we at?
No. Hour and under an hour and a half.
Nice.
Not bad, right? Okay.
Good.
Yeah. So that was the show this week. Next week again, I won't be here. I'm going to be in Comic-Con. So go to our socials at Construct Nerd. Really, Instagram. That's mostly where our socials going to be. I'll have, I'll post whatever I find that's cool and interesting at Comic-Con. But
in other words, my next guest will be Miguel Sanchez. So thank you guys as always for joining me. Hopefully my co-host will together sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe
we're gonna come together when Barbenheimer comes. You know what I mean? We'll be able to.
That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll all be here.
Which it's official. I have my Barbenheimer tickets same day. Like, dude, it's happening.
I'm glad one of us did that. Like,
I'm willing it into, the gods were against me. All of a sudden, my little sister is coming into town that weekend. So it got a little awkward, and I was like, well, I've already got the tickets. So
she didn't understand, did she?
no. Well, I mean, they understand my obsession with movies, and that
But this is a very special circumstance. When
right, exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, I would never. I mean, it's very rarely that I buy advance tickets.
Yeah.
Like, I've kind of found the flow of when I can get tickets, and it's still safe to get a good spot. But yeah, this one I wanted it locked down, and so I did it. No backseas, and I'm just gonna have to make up for it. But so it's definitely happening.
It's gonna be cool. You're watching it 70 millimeter. I'm watching it full IMAX, and
I've told
Miguel
myself
will probably just. I think Miguel's just watching it. Oh, Miguel's watching IMAX too. He got his tickets. He's ready to go.
And then I'm just seeing Barbie regular format. But I will definitely probably want to see Oppenheimer again. And my goal is to try and revisit it in IMAX for sure.
Are you going to make the trek to San Antonio or Dallas?
I wish I could justify it, Louise. Justified for me, absolutely. But no, I'd be very lucky if I.
It's bullshit that Houston doesn't have a real
IMAX right now. I know.
It has a lot of Limaxes, but not
exactly. I've been telling you guys about the updates they've been doing to my go-to theater, my local Regal, and they're still fucking updating. Imagine how much business they've lost in the last year. Houston's true IMAX, the one true IMAX they have in this town, and they've been refurbishing it through Avatar 2. Now Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, baby, you're missing out on all of this money. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why wouldn't you have done this first? I don't know, during the pandemic, but God, yeah, so that's aggravating. So I'm gonna have to probably just make do with IMAX, but yeah, very excited.
So yeah, tune in. Next week we're doing Mission Impossible with Miguel and Ed, and then the following week we'll do Barbenheimer. But hey, until next time, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and of course,
Ed Bull.
And until next time, I see you.
I see you. Okay.
I hope Barbenheimer can give us a new quote, maybe something epic, and then we'll end it bombs away, or something.
Yeah, I hope that's it now.